We're going to do something very simple now, or the specification of the problem at least is very simple. The problem is print the line hello 10 times. We want on our screen to see hello printed 10 times. How can we do that? Since we know how many times we want a specific action to be taken, we can use a for loop, a definite loop iteration. So let's go and do that. We know that we need to specify 4 parts when we are writing a for loop. The 3 parts that are inside the parentheses, and then of course the body. Now the body here is relatively simple. All we want to do is print a message, and so let's say print hello, and we can do it print line, for example. Now, what should we put inside the parentheses? The first part is the initialization. We initialize the loop counter, the loop variable. Int I becomes equal to 0. Here we are declaring variable I in the loop. The declaration did not have to happen in the loop. We could have said int I on line 4 and then say I becomes equal to 0 as the first part of the parenthesis. The second part needs to be the condition until which the body will be executed, will cease to be executed. We want to execute the loop 10 times. Since the starting value is 0, I needs to be less than 10 in order for this to execute 10 times, because the last time that it will execute will be when I has the value 9, so it will go all the times from 0 until 9, which is 10 times. And finally, this is the step that we want to happen at the end of every iteration, which is increase the value of I. So this is all that we need to do in order to print hello 10 times. We could alter this and, for instance, especially useful for debugging purposes, print also the value of I inside the loop. That will tell us every time we see a line which iteration of I that corresponds to. As soon as this simple code has compiled, we are going to run it to make sure the code behaves as we expected. And then, so you can see hello from 0 until 9, it has been printed 10 times. What we're now going to do is write the same thing in a different way. The fact that we used the for loop was very appropriate because we knew exactly how many times we want the loop body to be executed. However, we can do exactly the same thing using a while loop, for example. There's nothing that prevents us. It is just that the for loop is like made for it. So in a while loop, the way that we would do it is that the condition will have to go again at the parenthesis where the criterion will be checked. Of course, here I is not declared. It was only declared, as you can see, in the loop. So we need to declare I beforehand and also give it an initial value. So you see the initialization step that happens here will need to happen before the beginning of the while loop. The condition that we check will have to be, again, the condition of the while loop. And then what will go in the body? The action that we do inside the body, also increasing variable I. And just so that I don't confuse you, I will write it exactly the way I had it before, so that you don't think that one way is for loop, the other way is for the while loop. So the very last step, remember we were saying that this third part of the for loop, it is as if that action is happening as the very last line of the body of the loop. And this is what we have done here. So now if we again compile and run our code, we should see the message printed 20 times, from 0 to 9, all of them. And this is true. The times that we see here are from the... So we see 0 to 9 from the for loop, 0 to 9 from the while loop.